Hi, I'm Carol Duvall, and on today's show, we're going to show you several ways to add color and texture to handmade paper. Plus, stick around. We're going to show you the latest in stickers and some wonderful projects to make with them. We have a very enjoyable show for you, so won't you join us? I just love working with paper. In fact, I think it's my favorite medium, especially when it's handmade. Now, our first guest has written a wonderful book called The Art of Handmade Paper and Collage. She's also the design director at Martingale & Company. Welcome, Cheryl Stevenson. And so nice to have you on the show again, Cheryl.
Hi, Carol.
Now, I know we've seen stacks and stacks of your beautiful handmade paper, but you're going to show us something to do with it now, to change it?
Right. I teach hand paper making, and my students always end up with those same stacks, and they want to know, well, what can we do with it now?
Right.
And I've devised a way for adding a lot of texture and color to the paper, mostly by visiting my local thrift store and garage sales, looking for interesting items like this plastic fern here, or this was a plastic
Looks like familiar to me. It looks like one of those placemats.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, I see several things that look like they were cut from placemats. What is this?
That's a Christmas ornament.
Of course.
And then lace and
another placemat.
And a snowflake and a leaf and a little flower motif that you can get at the craft store. Anything with a little bit of dimension.
Dimension to it. So, okay.
Because handmade paper, especially when it doesn't have sizing in it, is very malleable, and it will pick up that detail very, very well.
This is like some of your handmade. That is so pretty.
Right.
So this is some
and
of your
I don't
paper.
put any sizing in it, so when you emboss it, it really picks up the detail.
So I want to know how to emboss it. I see, because I know you were saying everything you pick up has some dimension to it.
Right, right.
Okay.
Well, let's try this. Here's a pretty flower piece that's a little bit more raised, and then here's a piece of lace that has some dimension but is a little flatter. All you do is you take a piece of your handmade paper and you just place it over your pieces. And then this is cheesecloth, and the reason I'm using this is handmade paper is pretty fragile when it's wet, and the cheesecloth will pull up the water and pull the detail out, but it won't pull the paper pulp off the sheet of paper. Oh. So we're just going to dip this here, and we're going to start wetting this. And you see the shapes coming through.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And then what really helps is when you squeeze the water out of the cheesecloth and see when you go back and pull up more.
That's amazing how fast that comes up.
And then, of course, when it dries, you have this lovely, rich texture.
Oh, this is what I wanted to see because we didn't get too much of that. The lace.
Right. The lace comes all the way through.
And the lace didn't seem very deep at all, really.
No. And the longer you press and the more water you take out, the more detail you see, like in the flowers here. And then once you have a raised surface, a really fun thing to do is use an acrylic paint. I love gold on almost everything. So you just get a little wad out and smear it around like this. And then you just take and brush it.
Sort of like rub and buff or any of those things that come in the little jars.
Exactly like that. Now, of course, I love gold, but here with this leaf, I've added a little bit of green to the gold.
And this is just a metal leaf off of who knows what.
Right, I got it at a craft store.
Okay, and I think this angel is absolutely beautiful. This is, that is, well, I don't know what it is.
That's a Christmas ornament.
Oh.
And I make a lot of these for little girls' rooms. They just love them.
And this, actually, this would be complete in and of itself,
right.
I would think.
You can frame it.
You could frame it, you could mount it, you could do all sorts of things. Or, now this is the same little angel?
Yes, it's a different angel from the set that's in reverse.
Oh, I see, yes, because this one has a different head of hair.
Yes.
I think,
And I've actually painted some detail there.
And cut it out from the background. It's amazing how much detail, I mean, how fine you've been able to get around there with your scissors.
Yeah.
And it all stays together. And then on the other hand, if you don't want to get that ambitious right off the bat, you can just cut out some little hearts and make stationery, right?
They make wonderful valentines.
Oh, Very sweet, very nice. And but I'm wondering, if you don't mind here, this paper, we've done a lot of things with handmade paper and putting all sorts of stuff in it. What have you done here? You seem, it's so, I don't know, vibrant.
Well, I keep a little box of every single little scrap that I've ever had, and I just dump that into the paper bath towards the end, and it makes really pretty paper.
Toward the end, after the paper is really ready to be dumped out.
Right.
You just put things in, and I suppose you'd have a hard time even remembering. Oh, I see. You've got some little sparkles in there. I mean, some little sequins.
Yep, every little piece gets used. It's
beautiful. It really is beautiful paper. But hey, that's not all. Cheryl's going to hang around because she's got some more embossing tricks up her sleeve. So don't go away. Well, we're back with Cheryl Stevenson, who's the design director at Martingale & Company. And Cheryl just showed us how to do some wonderful embossing on handmade paper with stuff that was really junk, wasn't it?
It was, it was.
Now she's going to show us how you can do your own junk. I wouldn't call it junk, though. It's just your own designs.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do we start and what are we using? And is this what you did?
Well, one of the things I noticed about the hot glue gun as I used is that it produces this wonderful raised ridge that makes an excellent surface for embossing. So I thought, well, heck, I can draw with this and maybe make designs, and that's exactly what I did.
And I'm sure any crafter out there that uses a glue gun recognized that the second they saw it.
Yeah, they get very excited. So you can make a drawing of your own, as I have here, or you can use copyright-free clip art. Or even if you don't think you're an artist, you can just doodle a little bit and then end up with a really cool embossed paper.
You know what? I really like that one.
I do too.
Very contemporary looking. Okay, what steps did you go through?
Well, it's very simple. One of the starting places is, of course, a simple design, or as I said, some copyright-free clip art. And I used this no-melt Mylar template plastic. Oh. That's why I can draw on it with the glue gun and there's no problem. So you just put that over your drawing, and then I draw it with the black, just any kind of black marker of any kind, because when you draw with the glue gun, you're just going to be drawing over these black lines. So here we have one that I am done drawing, and we're just going to take the glue gun. And the cool thing about this is, because you're going to be embossing the paper over it, you don't have to be real careful. And you know how glue gun strings break as you're going along?
I know how they do when I try. That is the teeniest, tiniest glue gun I've ever seen.
Well, it gives me a nice thin line. But as the line wobbles and breaks, it's no problem, because you're going to be embossing the paper over it, and the better the texture, the better the final image. Even if you miss like that, it's just no problem.
That's the kind of a project I like.
Because no one's going to know what the original drawing
what it was supposed to be anyway.
So let me show you this finished, and here we have it. And if you run your fingers over it, you can feel that raised design there. And then from that point on, it's real simple. You take handmade paper, which again is real malleable and holds detail real well, and you just set it over there. And you want to dampen the paper with cheesecloth. Again, the cheesecloth is going to be real kind to the handmade paper and not pull up the pulp. And you can see the raised design coming up there right through the handmade paper.
That's just fascinating to watch.
The amazing thing about this is I've had pieces of paper I've embossed rattling around in my paper drawer for years.
And they hold it. They just absolutely hold it. Well, that's great. And here we are with our gold again.
Yes, I'm real fond of gold.
And so you just went over that with a little bit of your gold paint. Now, I see some more of your gold down here. But these look like they were done by another method.
Yes, it's actually a real simple method for simple shapes that's especially good for greeting cards. What you do, I just take illustration board or mat board, and you need 2 pieces. You just draw a simple shape, and then using an X-Acto knife, you cut it out. See, you can see the shape there. And I just use a glue gun to glue that down and you put tape at the back, because what you're making is a little sandwich.
So the heart that you cut out of the top, you glue to the bottom piece.
Right.
Yeah, I remember trying to make stationery this way, with the paper getting all wrinkled, but I wasn't using handmade paper.
Handmade paper is the secret. So again, in this case, we just sandwich the paper in there. You take a hammer and you really pound around the edge, and you need to pound quite hard, and I'll show you a piece I've done in a minute, till these edges are flush with each other, and that's what produces the nice embossed image.
Isn't that nice?
There it is when it's done. So you can take all kinds of simple shapes, and they're really wonderful for greeting cards.
You just painted them gold.
Yes, my favorite.
They're great. That looks like great fun too, and as I say, much better on the handmade paper than my Xerox paper I was trying to make stationery on. Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Cheryl. And don't forget that Cheryl has written this wonderful book, The Art of Handmade Paper. So if you thought, now coming up next, of course, if you thought stickers were strictly for kids, stick around. Well, we have been so busy rubber stamping on our show that we have all but ignored stickers. Now, I know that those of you who are into scrapbooking and memory booking are familiar with stickers and you've been using them. But for the rest of you, stickers are not just for the children anymore. Let me show you just a few of the thousands I saw the other day over at Sticker Planet. And these are from different sticker companies. I even got a catalog from the Boston Museum of Art that has stickers. Anyway, here are some. There are a lot of different theme stickers. There are a lot of different animal stickers. There are storytelling stickers. And there are stickers that look like they stepped out of the pages of a Victorian magazine, and or greeting cards. In fact, you could make your own with these wonderful stickers. There are holiday stickers for all the holidays. I particularly love the Christmas tree stickers. There are ornament stickers. There are gift stickers. There are Christmas tree light stickers, even though they're not on the Christmas tree. There are stickers for absolutely everything, and there are sophisticated stickers too. Then there are the strip stickers. Now, these are the latest hot items. These can be put on just about anything. I would make a piece of stationery out of a single piece of white paper. Put that on an invoice and have them pay attention. All sorts of stickers. Then there are little booklets to keep your stickers in, like these. And what do you do with all these stickers? Well, one of the things you can do is take a plain box and stick stickers on it and make it not so plain. No need for any bows anymore when you put stickers on. You can take a plain note card and envelope and look at that. Is that not beautiful? For perhaps a wedding invitation, a shower invitation, or a thank you for my present. You can take little boxes like these to keep your stuff in. Stickers on them so everybody will know they're yours. Or a plain cup and put a few stickers on it, or a whole bunch of stickers on it. You could take these things that you hang on the door and leave the messages. Is where you're going and what you're doing. And for the baby's clothes, put stickers on that hanger. Now, paper dolls are coming back again. Well, they're coming back in stickers too. These are really cute and silly. Sticker paper dolls. And there are wonderful crowns and hats and all sorts of chapeau, let's say it that way. What do you do with those? How about putting them on some of your photographs? Look at these ordinary but very nice family pictures. Suddenly wonderful with all these kings and queens. I love this little girl particularly. Not only does she have a wonderful hat on, but also those marvelous sunglasses. And yes, that's a marvelous chapeau on her. She even has sort of a scepter there. Notice this picture, please. Even the bunny rabbits have stickers. Oh, and then there are stickers here. You scrapbookers know about these to tell where you've been on your vacation. You could even put a lot of these stickers on your luggage, so when they lose it, you'll be really able to identify it because yours is a suitcase with all those stickers. You can take 2 bags, put one inside the other, cut one off, and make wonderful gift bag with stickers. You decoupageurs or decoupeurs. How about this? No cutting. A plain frame, no longer, with all these Mary Engelbreit stickers all over them. And look at a couple of craft sticks stuck together. Add a few little wooden cutouts.